as I've been long. The Black Lotus clan sends their regards.
Is this a challenge? It's premise!
Your reputation precedes you.
Ha ha! Perhaps, but you're still just a pussy.
Welcome to the motherfucking lady. We're covering today's top boxing news.
In the sparring, I know that she could not keep up with the volume that I was throwing. That's the thing with Alycia Baumgardner. She doesn't like volume. She doesn't like the higher pace.
It was late yesterday when I caught wind that reigning WBC super featherweight champion Caroline Veyre had leaked the sparring footage of her encounter with Alycia Baumgardner some time ago, and it's been making the rounds, eliciting a lot of reactions. She's been campaigning for a fight with Alycia to collect the other belts at the weight because Alycia still has the other three, and it would seem that she's ramped up promotion for what could be that fight. If Alycia didn't have a reason to fight Caroline Veyre before, I would say that she does now, especially if you're not going to move up to lightweight anytime soon, not going to fight Caroline Dubois. You may as well fight the other Caroline, unless you're going to let her keep talking about you like that.
You gonna put up with that shit?
Or are you going to do something about it? Alycia has come under heavy fire, a lot, and I mean a lot of criticism from the Clarissa Shields fans, the Caroline Dubois fans, many of which are also the Clarissa Shields fans, just in disguise. Not even counting all the other people that are still critical that she tested positive for a banned substance some time ago. Alycia has fast become the girl that everybody loves to hate, seemingly. So this would be just another chapter in the same book. Caroline seems to have leaked that sparring footage saying that Alycia struggles with volume and struggles with pressure, which I think is true to a degree. That is how you can give her a hard time. That is how you can force her to work, is by applying pressure, but she's no newbie to pressure. She encountered pressure both times that she fought Cristina Linardatu.
She's a pressure fighter.
More than Caroline Veyre, Cristina Linardatu is not only more of a pressure fighter than Caroline, but she's a bigger puncher than Caroline, and Alycia fought her 2 times.
Fought Delphine Persoon.
Delphine is a pressure fighter, more than Caroline Veyre, and Alycia was able to handle her just fine, better than Caroline.
Because they both fought Delphine.
And Alycia did a better job, by and large, on Delphine than what Caroline was doing. She also did a better job on Bomi Reishin.
Better than Caroline Dubois did.
Bomi Reishin is a pressure fighter, the same as Delphine Persoon, the same as Cristina Linardatu. So while it is true that applying pressure can make things difficult for Alycia, she's no stranger to it.
Then why'd she look that way in the sparring session?
Why did it look like in sparring, Caroline Veyre was getting the better of Alycia Baumgardner? Why was she landing so many punches and pushing her back?
I don't really think it matters.
The sparring went how it went, and it happened how it happened. But on that premise and what you see in that video, are you now prepared to back Caroline Veyre to beat Alycia Baumgardner on the basis of a sparring session?
It happened how it happened. I won't attempt to explain it away.
But let's just skip the foreplay, because Caroline Veyre had a good session against Alycia in sparring. Are you guys out there now prepared to back her to beat Alycia Baumgardner? Because if Alycia didn't have a reason to stay at Super Feather before, she does now.
If she didn't have a reason to fight for the WBC title before, go back to fighting 10-2s, she does now.
I remember hearing her say after the Bomi Reishin fight that she might fight 1 or 2 more times this year. There's plenty of time to do it. Take care of Caroline in late summer. Come back, fight somebody else in the winter. I will have serious reservations about Alycia Baumgardner's future in the sport if she allows this to go on unchallenged.
It's bad enough you don't want to fight Caroline Dubois, even though the entire boxing community is asking you to do it. Putting that fight on the back burner for 2 fights with 2 fighters that are on their way out.
That ain't gonna happen, that's bad enough. But that another champion at your weight is taking your name and dragging it through the mud.
You're gonna put up with that?
I've seen it said more than once by more than one boxing fan that Alycia's ego's out of control. She's gotten a big head. She thinks she's a lot bigger than what she is, and she shouldn't think that she's grown so big in terms of marquee value that she can allow this to go on.
Now, you can sort of see that she wants to step outside of the boxing sphere and do other things, branch out.
But she hasn't done that yet. And if you branch out without having fought Caroline Veyre and without having fought Caroline Dubois, it's gonna look like they ran you out of the sport.
Like they punked you.
She shouldn't put up with this. I've been a long-time supporter of this fighter. For many years now I have been. But there's only so much I'm willing to take on.
She's got to handle this.
If she fights Caroline Veyre, she beats Caroline Veyre. That's what I think. But it's not enough for me to say it here on my little channel. She's got to get in there and do it. And show everybody. Show Caroline who's boss.
I don't give a damn about a sparring session. If they fight, I've got Alycia winning, but Alicia's got to be the one that wins. I can't win it for her.
The projection of women in boxing and the issue or the theme about the ring girls in an all-female fighting card. And the
ring boys?
sexualization of women.
Do you want ring boys?
Well, a couple of people have said that why don't have boys or none of any of them at all. I just wanna bring to the attention the conversation of it.
Next
Thank
question,
you.
please. If anybody wants to submit an application to be a ring boy to MVP, send it to that young man.
Send it to fucking Kamala Harris.
My question is for Jake Paul. Jake, obviously, you don't see...
I came across this video that's been doing the rounds on social media of some cuck liberal, some woke reporter.
It's always them.
Those individuals don't live in a little place I like to call Earth. They are so far removed from reality. This idiot actually thinks there's a demand for male ring card girls.
Ring boys, essentially.
The first I would have ever heard of it because the primary consumers of boxing are men. Many of those men are heterosexual men that are into women. They wouldn't like it none too much if it were a guy in there holding up a ring card.
That may be true.
And you have to cater to the audience that you have. You got a bunch of customers lining up to go in a burger joint. They're not doing so expecting to eat the lasagna.
You don't go to McDonald's for the baked ziti.
Because you have to cater to the customers you have. What you don't do is stand on your soapbox, stand on the pulpit, chastising them for not doing what you think they should do, not consuming.
Oh, you've got ring girls. Why not ring boys?
Did you ever stop to think it's because the audience doesn't want to look at boys, they want to look at girls?
They want to see ass and titties.
Beating around the bush, I want to see ass and titties. I don't want to see some guy in there holding up a ring card. And because the primary consumers of boxing are generally men, many of which are heterosexual.
It's a stupid fucking question. I can't even blame Jake for running out of patience with this woke liberal.
Thing about those people, they're out of touch with reality. That's why a lot of their views sound the way they sound.
Fucking stupid.
What he was trying to do was put Jake Paul and Nikisa Badarian and the people at MVP on the spot, on the premise that MVP are all about empowering the women and promoting the women. So do they not find it sexist to only use ring girls? What about ring guys?
Are they not sexually objectifying the women, only using women for that assignment? And the thing is, the women sexually objectify themselves, or have you not noticed the influx of scantily clad women all over social media trying to sell you their OnlyFans or their Fansly? They are volunteering themselves to sell smut. They're essentially objectifying themselves.
Did you not notice? What rock have you been living under?
The biggest revelation of the postmodern era is that it was never the men who had to objectify the women for the right price. They'll objectify themselves voluntarily. Now, every halfway decent looking broad with a halfway decent looking body is pointing their ass at a camera. An entire generation of women.
No, it's not just this one. There are women from the age ranges of anywhere in between 21 to 51, all selling smut, all selling ass and tits.
So where does this woke cuck, this woke reporter get it that MVP is objectifying women by having ring card girls?
How is being a ring card girl any less virtuous than having an OnlyFans account or a Fansly account?
Maybe you're fighting this fight in the wrong place with the wrong people, if that's what you're worried about. Women being objectified? It's the women objectifying themselves. Or have you not noticed? Nobody leaves the house shaped like any of these broads you see on Instagram and other social media platforms without the knowledge they're gonna draw a lot of attention. That is a risk that they take on.
It's their right to do so. No one is stopping them. But when you show ass and show titties, what men are gonna think about is ass and titties. I like to say the quiet part out loud. Because that's the fun part, saying what other people won't say. A lot of these broads do it for the ego boost.
You're gonna act like there's not perks to being good looking?
Often hearing it said that they don't do it for other people or other people's reactions. No, they do it for themselves.
Bullshit.
You're not leaving the house looking like that, or posting all those images of yourself to the internet for yourself, because if it was just about yourself, you'd keep that stuff in your phone gallery. You're doing it so that other people react to it because of the ego boost you get when they fawn over you.
So it's not the people looking at these images objectifying these women, it's these women objectifying themselves because they know exactly what they're doing and why they're doing it, what they aspire to gain.
That is their decision, and that is what female empowerment is, isn't it? The freedom of choice, to do as you wish. There's women, they don't mind strutting around the ring holding up a ring card wearing a bikini. There are other women who they're in the ring throwing punches.
That's empowerment.
Not sectioning off one from the other on the premise of nudity when there's a lot more nudity in other sectors than inside a boxing ring.
You're gonna end up seeing more ass and titties on Instagram than you ever would during a fucking boxing match.
The women have gone into business for themselves, and more power to them, by sexually objectifying themselves. It's not the men doing it, because none of them would know anything about what your ass and thighs look like if you don't upload it, if you don't show them.
They're willing to show you their brown eye these days for $4.99.
What's consistent with the woke media is the virtue signaling, is attempting to champion a cause that doesn't need a freedom fighter.
Remember when Mia Khalifa used to demonize the porn industry? Demonizing it for being a mattress actress, claiming coercion.
Like somebody forced her to do it, just for that same Mia Khalifa to open up an OnlyFans account of her own, selling ass and titties.
You were selling sex before, you're selling sex now.
It didn't suddenly become more wholesome because you the one opened up the account. You're still selling sex.
And that's what's consistent about the woke media and woke individuals. Among all of their inconsistencies, what is consistent?
Virtue signaling.
An entire generation that has a bad habit of not fleshing out their ideas to form a cohesive thought, focusing only on what sounds good in the moment.
To the effect of appearing virtuous and appearing noble, fighting the good fight, and being on the right side of history, all to aggrandize themselves.
On the foundation of stupid fucking ideas.
The reason you don't see ring guys holding up ring cards is because people don't want to see that. This is entertainment. If there were a large enough section of the boxing community at large and those consumers who wanted to see that, then they would.
But they don't. So there isn't. It's not about objectifying anyone. It's about catering to the audience that you have.
And the girls doing it are willing to do it. Nobody's forcing them to.
You're just throwing around buzzwords so you can sound like the noble one. They're being sexually objectified?
Dial it down a bit, Gloria Steinem. They've already made their choice because they have the freedom of choice. They don't need you to give it to them.
They don't need you to white knight for them, Sir Lancelot.
In men's heavyweight news, Shelley Finkle reacted to the news of Anthony Joshua's upcoming fight with Prenga, saying, "Can't be disappointed about something that never was. Eddie Hearn never reached out to us, and Joshua obviously had no intention of fighting Deontay Wilder. Same old story, just a new day."
There seems to be a surge of disappointment that Anthony Joshua's next fight won't be against his transatlantic rival Deontay Wilder, on the premise that the ideal sequence of fights would have pitted Anthony Joshua against a rival in Deontay Wilder, capping off with another rival in Tyson Fury. But of course, this is a highly idealized scenario.
In an ideal world, when things are seldom ever ideal in the world of boxing. The truth is, I never expected Deontay Wilder to be next, even though I thought he could be.
He's no threat. At this point, he's a tune-up fight for AJ.
But the problem would be he's not going to come with a tune-up asking price.
He doesn't think he's a tune-up kind of opponent, neither do his handlers. If you go into a set of negotiations with Wilder, en route to another set of negotiations for Fury, we're going to be here all day.
We've already done this.
Maybe there still is some residual desire and some residual need to see Anthony lock horns with Deontay. Maybe that lingers to some small extent, but whatever that is trumped by the Fury fight, because Fury beat Wilder.
It's not hard to understand.
The Deontay Wilder fight, in every facet you can imagine, financially,
money-wise, legacy-wise, in every arena takes a back seat to the Fury fight, because whatever you make for Wilder, you make more for Fury. Whatever fighting Wilder does for your legacy, fighting Fury does even more.
Shelley said he's not disappointed because it's another chapter in the same book. On that much I agree, because Anthony already agreed to fight Deontay Wilder more than once. More recently, when Turkey El Sheikh was going to pay for it. And when he was going to pay for it, what happened?
Wilder lost.
He couldn't hold up his end of the bargain, in effect screwing the pooch. So now we're supposed to get mad at Anthony that you're not more of a priority. In 2026, why would you be? And the people capping for him, for Wilder. How many of those people online that you see now do you think bought Wilder's fight in Wichita, Kansas against Tyrell Herndon? Because that was a pay-per-view, that wasn't free. And how many more of those people do you think just bought his fight with Derek Chisora? Because that was a pay-per-view too. When you tell me that the Wilder fight is bigger.
Wilder's big? Is he big enough for you to pay for him? Is he big enough for you to buy his fights? Because if he's not, why don't you have a tall glass of shut the fuck up?
Shut the fuck up.
Enough already with the Wilder stuff. You guys out there don't seem to care about this guy the majority of the time. Unless AJ is involved. Then all of a sudden, you're his biggest fucking fans.
Because you're jealous.
Oh, I know that sounds really fucking weird. But Deontay Wilder debuted as a professional in 2008, and his entire boxing career went largely unnoticed up until Anthony started making waves in 2016. Then all of a sudden you start seeing these Wilder fans that didn't give a damn about his fights.
They didn't give a damn about his belt. They didn't give a damn about Undisputed. It's not until Anthony.
Deontay doesn't become a hot topic until Anthony comes around. That's the way it's always been, and that's the way it is now. They're jealous because the UK boxing scene has usurped the American one, at least when it comes to heavyweights. All the money is over there, and all the relevant fighters. Deontay Wilder is their last gasp at a moral victory.
They still want one because they've been wrong about so many other things with so many other fighters. They thought Stephen Fulton would expose Naoya Inoue. They thought that Errol Spence would expose Terrence Crawford, and they thought
Deontay Wilder was George Foreman and Mike Tyson rolled into one. They thought that he would usher in a new golden era of American heavyweights, American fighters. They thought he could bring the division back to the United States, and he didn't.
He got beat by a bald English guy, right? He got beat by a cherry pick gone wrong, because that's what Fury was.
He got beat by every top shelf heavyweight they put him in there with. Every time they stepped him up, that's every time he lost.
You guys got a penchant for backing the wrong horse. Tribalism is why.
I think it stopped being about boxing for a lot of these guys a long time ago. Now, you could argue that boxing has always had a tribal element. In truth, every organized sport does.
It does.
But at this point, you're on the losing team. You can get off of this train whenever you want. Fighting Wilder is not more important than fighting the man who beat him. Fighting Wilder is not more important than fighting Fury. And at this point, the focus is Fury.
Maybe he can settle up with Deontay afterwards. Big maybe.